Inshallah, Harris is going to lose because of us.
This was Dearborn, Michigan, just weeks before the presidential election. Arab American voters were intent on punishing the Biden administration over the war in Gaza.
There needs to be an accountability for the lives lost.
They wanted one thing from their vote.
Who's going to stop the bombing of my people?
A ceasefire came into effect as President Trump took office. And then
it's right now a demolition site.
He dropped his plans for the future of Gaza.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too.
Okay, so today we're going to Michigan and we're going to be looking at the Arab Americans who decided to vote for the current President Trump, and if they regret their vote or they're standing by their vote. Before we begin, please consider liking and subscribing, and let's get back to the video.
We're back in Dearborn. We were here last year for about a week talking to voters just before the election. This place holds the distinction of being the first Arab majority city in the U.S. Huge population here. And Trump really made a big play for that community, and it worked. He won here over Kamala Harris by more than 42% of the vote. We wanted to come back to talk to the same people that we interviewed to find out what they think of Trump now. Were you hurt by it? Did you take it personally?
100%, of course. Of course, yeah. I don't accept that. And I'm going to fight that if that's the plan. I mean, it's
Samra Lukman voted for Trump, convinced he was the best option to stop the death and destruction in Gaza.
Even if theoretically Trump was to incentivize Palestinians to leave Gaza, he did not say he would do it with violence. He did not say he was going to kill every child that remained on that land, which is what the Democrats were allowing to happen.
Okay, so that's definitely coping. And I see this is something that most Americans do. Like, you cannot just accept and say, hey, I was wrong. I thought that this was going to happen, and it did happen. Right now, what she just said is plain as day coping, saying that even if he was to take over Gaza, he's not going to do it violently. Well, how do you think that people are just going to let their homes be taken over just laying down? Do you think that in what world has that ever happened? Even in fictional worlds of Star Wars and other shows, people fight back. So I don't know why people cannot just accept and say, okay, maybe I messed up here, but let's see how she justifies whatever happened.
I think
But now she's nervous after Trump says he might cancel the ceasefire if Israeli hostages don't come home.
All bets are off, and let hell break out.
we didn't stop a genocide only to have it continue under a different administration. That's not what the goal was.
A new dilemma for this Dearborn community, rocked so deeply by the war. At this local restaurant, owner Sam Hammoud, who voted for a third-party candidate, is hearing a lot of blame.
They held Dearborn Heights responsible for what Trump is doing.
What's your answer to those people who say, look what you did?
Where was your voice when all this was going on? How come you guys didn't come out, say, hey, what's going on in the Middle East needs to stop?
Our vote was to end the killing of hundreds, possibly thousands of people per day. And we achieved that.
By the way, where is Jill Stein? Like, Jill Stein, the third party grifter, always comes out every 4 years, like, I'm the better option. Don't vote Republican, don't vote Democrat. And then she does all these campaigns, and then immediately after election, she disappears. You wait 4 more years, she comes out again, and then she does the same thing. So, man, American politics is as toxic as they come. I don't think, I've never seen in my life, I've never seen a country that is so desperate to destroy itself like America. And I come from a third world country, or as Trump would say, a third world shithole. So coming from a third world shithole like me, I know bad leadership when I see it. And America has always been a beacon for other countries as a source of leadership. But when we see how desperate, how they are begging to destroy their own country, it's unbelievable. It's like watching a movie. I don't know. How is this possible? A country so desperate to self-destruction to this extent that America is at, that you can just look at it and watch. It's like a slow train wreck. But let's get back to the to the video.
We have a ceasefire under Trump, and I don't regret that.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. You guys are registered voters? Do go vote.
When we first met local activist Farah Khan, she was campaigning against Kamala Harris and voted for Jill Stein.
Nice to see you again. Oh, good to see you.
Now, she's planning her next move.
We are going to get together and organize against Trump as well, as just as powerful as we did for the Biden-Harris administration.
Do you regret?
Sorry for pausing so many times, but does this woman really think that she can do anything to persuade Trump? Really? Do you really think, in what world do you think you can persuade Trump to, I don't know, to show mercy or to to look at you favorably? Like, it's just laughable at some point, because if own Republicans are terrified of Trump, that's why they never speak out anything. They will never dare. Who in the world do you think you are who's gonna change Trump's mind? Wow. Let's just continue.
Campaigning for a third-party candidate that likely helped with Trump's victory?
No, not one bit. What actually just happened in the past elections, it should be a learning curve for the politicians as well. You know, they should know that you can no longer fool the people by your video and empty rhetoric with your false promises.
Over and over again, the voters we talked to told us it was never about Trump.
We are not married to the Republican Party. We're not married to the Democratic Party. As a voting bloc, American Muslims and Arabs are going to be voting with Gaza in mind.
Okay, so that's what they're claiming. It's no regrets. If Republicans do the same thing as Democrats, they're gonna teach them a lesson. But let's see this other clip real quick to see. You're gonna see the same characters appear also on this one. But let's see if the voters are regretting or not.
President Trump doubling down on his plan to own the Gaza Strip during a press conference alongside Jordan's King Abdullah.
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make sure that there's going to be peace.
And when asked about whether the president's Arab supporters would be happy with his decision to occupy Gaza, Trump responded, citing his support in Michigan during the election.
Well, you know, if you look at Michigan, where we have a large Arab population, as you know, I was just telling the king that we won. As you know, I won the Arab population.
And he's right, he did. In Dearborn, Trump edged out Kamala Harris by 2,500 votes. So we reached out to some Arab voters who either cast their ballot for the president or for a third party, which is also seen as a vote for Trump. Sam Fawaz, a Lebanese American in Michigan, campaigned for Trump and does not regret his vote in spite of Trump's claims to take over Gaza.
Everything is transactional to him. You know, that's what he's known for. If anything he's proven is he doesn't like to see the killing and death and destruction of innocent civilians. That's become, it should be obviously clear to everyone. I always tell family and friends that voted for him recently, I tell them to give me an alternative to President Trump. Would have been a continuation of the Biden administration through Vice President Harris. I don't think the bloodshed would have stopped, and I don't think the death and destruction would have abated. And I think the long-term goal of the region would have been on the same track.
Okay, let me pause it there, because let me look at it as an outsider. Let's say I'm an outsider and I'm looking in. America will never, as far as I know, and I've known America for quite a while, America will never be on the side of Palestine. Let me just say the truth. That's it. I know truth hurts, but America as a government, it doesn't matter who's the president. It doesn't matter, if it was Kamala or whoever, they will never be on the side of Palestine because of many things, from evangelical Christianity, where they believe, let me not go much into details because I don't want to be cancelled. These are sensitive topics, and there are some countries you cannot name, otherwise you will lose everything. But you get my point. My point is, most of these people are very naive. It's like looking at a newborn playing with a hot stove, or like somebody. It's like seeing somebody in a zoo slapping a bear, and it's like, oh no, it's not gonna do anything. This is so fun. This is so much fun. And then you're slapping the bear. You know full well as an adult that bear is gonna rip this fool's arm out. But that's what these people are doing, basically. They are in a game that they don't even know what's going to happen. But let's see. This is the other character from the video, but let's see.
Ahmed, who's also an Arab American voter, cast her ballot for Trump, and she stands by it.
We have a ceasefire. I stand by my vote. We have gotten a pause in the killing of the people, and that's paramount to me.
But she's not happy with Trump's rhetoric and taking over Gaza.
I'm angered by them, and I'm also fearful for the people there. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we have seen a march of return. We've seen Palestinians be able to go back to Gaza. That would not have happened had we had Biden or Harris still in office.
We also caught up with an Arab Michigan voter who voted for Jill Stein. We interviewed Farah Khan before the election, and she told us she was voting third party. Here's what she told us back in August after Harris's speech at the DNC.
You are bombing our families with our money, and just one good speech is going to win us over again? I don't think so.
She took a risk and does not regret it, even though she is deeply upset with Trump's rhetoric, but says she plans to organize against Trump the way she organized against Harris.
Why organize against Trump when you should organize against Jill Stein, who was opposed? Where is Jill Stein again? I ask again. Where is that woman? Because she pulls the ultimate, David Blaine. Like the ultimate magician. Like, she just appears and disappears whenever she wants. But you've already seen these two characters. I don't even want to finish the video. It's the same thing. We all know as adults. We know there is regret. It's just that there is so much pride that you can never really admit when you are wrong. So let's just finish the video there. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And share this on all the networks. I will see you.
Oh my goodness, all the networks! Wow! All the networks!